Hey everyone! So the topic that I'm going to be going over today is on herbal treatments and supplements for depression. So I thought this would be a really interesting topic to research just because depression is unfortunately such a common issue that affects so many people. And to me, I was just really interested in learning new ways to treat and cope with depression. So I'm just going to start off with some different things to consider. So according to the World Health Organization, depression is in fact very, very common and does affect about 121 million people worldwide. In many cases, herbal treatments and supplements can assist in treating mild to moderate cases of depression. So what an herbal treatment or supplement is a treatment that's made from botanicals or plants that is taken as a supplement to treat different diseases or just help with overall health. Herbal supplements are actually not FDA approved, which I found to be really interesting. They're actually considered to be a food rather than a drug, so they do have to undergo different regulations for testing than a typical drug or typical antidepressant would have to undergo. So that being said, you should definitely still consult your doctor before you're taking a new supplement. And these are known to treat more mild to moderate cases of depression. So if you do have a more severe form of depression, these probably aren't going to have much of an effect on you. They might help a little bit, but they're not going to make the depression go away. So like I was saying, you should definitely really educate yourself on what you're taking. Talk to your doctor. Just because something is natural doesn't mean it's not going to have side effects. A lot of these can be used on their own, but they can also be used with your typical antidepressants, but you should just be aware of which ones you can use together because there is a syndrome called serotonin syndrome that is rare, but it can happen that if you combine a natural supplement with your standard antidepressant, it can cause serotonin syndrome, which can lead to like heart palpitations, nausea, vomiting, just a lot of different complications and side effects that you really want to avoid. So that's definitely something to keep in mind. So moving forward, as I was researching this, I was getting a little bit overwhelmed because there are so many different natural supplements. So there's tons and tons of information out there and there's so many different ones to research. So I tried to narrow it down to some of the most popular ones that I just kept coming across. The first one that I found was St. John's wort. So this one is actually one of the most popular ones and it's actually known to be one of the most effective as well. So St. John's wort is produced from the extract of a plant. It's a plant that I cannot pronounce, but I do have the name in the PowerPoint. It's a yellow floral plant. But St. John's wort, it actually helps to reduce cortisol, which is the stress hormone in the body, and it increases the levels of serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. It is proven to be one of the more effective supplements to treat mild to moderate depression. It's in a study, it was shown to be more effective than the placebo, but at the same time it can have just as many side effects as a standard antidepressant because it is so comparable to one. It can also, if you do pair this one with a typical antidepressant, it can cause that serotonin syndrome. And there also is not much data available on how safe or effective this one is in treating children. Another one that I came across is SAMe. So SAMe is a substance that's produced in the body that boosts the production of neurotransmitters, serotonin, norepinephrine, and dopamine. In a study that I was looking at, 6 out of 8 of the placebo-controlled trials found SAMe to be more effective than the placebo. And then they also did compare it to an antidepressant, a standard tricyclic antidepressant. And out of 8 studies, 6 of them found SAMe to be equivalent to the tricyclic antidepressants. So there is more research that needs to go into finding the appropriate dosage. This one also may have a lot of side effects on its own or cause serotonin syndrome if you combine it with a normal antidepressant as well. Another thing with these natural supplements, a lot of the times they do require more doses than a typical antidepressant. So instead of taking your antidepressant in the morning and not thinking about it for the rest of the day until the following day, a lot of these natural supplements you do have to take multiple times throughout the day. So they can be a little bit of a hassle because you have to take them more than once. Another one that I came across that I found really interesting was omega-3 fatty acids. So these can be found in salmon, sardines, anchovies, and fish oil capsules. I was focusing a little bit more on fish oil capsules, but there are two different types of omega-3 fatty acids, EPA and DHA, and those are found in the fish that I listed. I thought it was really interesting that in countries that have higher fish consumption, the amount of people that are depressed, the number is actually lower. So I thought that was really interesting. This is a really good one for someone who is afraid of side effects, because this one really only benefits you. It can be used alone, or it can be taken as an antidepressant. It's very popular among elderly because a lot of elderly are a little bit more afraid of taking a new antidepressant just because of all of the side effects that go along with it, which is understandable. So this is a really good one because they're not going to have those side effects. But there was a study that reported patients who took 6.6 grams of omega-3 fatty acids per day improved their depression more than the subjects that were taking placebo. And then one more that I'm going to go over is 5-HTP. And this was another really popular one that I found. This one is a chemical byproduct of the protein building block L-tryptophan. So 5-HTP has been known to be used for sleep disorders, depression, and anxiety. So it works in the brain and central nervous system by increasing the production of the chemical serotonin. But this one, it should be used cautiously, and it does have many side effects as well. So this one, you probably shouldn't pair this with another antidepressant because it does have that. There is the chance that you could end up with serotonin syndrome, which again is rare, but it can happen if you combine a natural supplement with a typical antidepressant. And then moving on, there are a lot of other herbal treatments and supplements that I was looking at, and I just wanted to briefly go over some of them. One that I found was ginkgo biloba. So that one was actually found to not be very effective and didn't make much of a difference compared to the placebo. Lavender, chamomile, and patchouli are definitely good like mood enhancers. They're not going to completely make your depression go away, but they can definitely help to relax you and just get you in a better like headspace for the moment. So those are good ones to use. Another one that I was looking at is ashwagandha, and that's a really popular one as well. So that one is an Indian plant that has been long used in Ayurvedic medicine. I probably just butchered that. But it has very powerful adaptogenic compounds that are known to relieve symptoms of depression and anxiety. So it also helps to fight brain conditions like Alzheimer's and Parkinson's. And it also helps with the spread of cancer cells. So that's another really good one. And that's another good one for people that are concerned with the side effects, because ashwagandha isn't known to cause many side effects as well. So that's another really good one too. So overall, I definitely learned a lot from all of this research, and I just found it really interesting because there's just so many different natural supplements, and I'm definitely guilty of kind of self-diagnosing and being like, oh, I'll try this without like looking too into it. But just because something is natural doesn't mean that it is completely safe to take for your body. You definitely want to consult with a doctor. You want to just really do your research, be aware of what it is you're putting into your body before you do, because, like I said, they're not FDA approved, and a lot of these can be very, very beneficial, but at the same time, they do have side effects as well. So that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, thank you.